minimize this thing. Damn it. Should chat. That's funny. Testing the volume. Can you hear me? Earth to self. Testing the volume. Can you hear me? Earth to self. It'd be good if you could plug it in actually. Let's plug this in. Jeez. Earth to self. I had the headphones on. Plug it in actually. But I didn't plug it in. Jeez. Shame. How goofy. I'll mute myself. I had the headphones on. Plug it in actually. But there we go. Okay. So how are you guys doing this lovely Sunday? Sunday evening or Sunday morning. It could be Monday morning for you guys out there. So on the other side of the world. But it's about 3:30 for me right now. And I wanted to draw Medusa. Let me get my pencils ready. Got this lamp in my way right here. See? I gotta put it somewhere where it's not bugging me. Zoom in a little bit. Now what I wanted to do is draw obviously a Medusa, but I'm not trying to reinvent her or anything because we've all seen different versions of Medusa. But I know that she was cursed according to legend. Actually, let me look that up. Let's go to Wikipedia. Mythology. Let's see here. Okay, in a late version of the Medusa myth by the Roman poet Ovid, Medusa was originally a beautiful maiden, but when Neptune, the Roman equivalent of the Greek Poseidon, had sexual intercourse with her in Minerva's temple, Minerva being the Roman equivalent of the Greek Athena, Minerva punished Medusa by transforming her beautiful hair into horrible snakes. Although no earlier version mentioned this, ancient depictions of Medusa as a beautiful maiden instead of a horrid monster predate Ovid. In classical Greek art, the depiction of Medusa shifted from hideous beast to an attractive young woman, both aggressor and victim. A tragic figure in her death. So anyways, it just says that, it doesn't tell you what she looked like. But my favorite version is the one from Clash of the Titans. That was my first experience of a Medusa creature. So ever since then, I just loved that version. I know they made Clash of the Titans again, like modern times, and I don't like that one. She's too pretty looking, and obviously they use CG. I'm not a big CG fan for many reasons, unless you're doing video games. Video games is CG world. So in my mind I have this image of this Medusa character, and she's sort of crawling on the ground on her hands, similar to what we see in the movie Clash of the Titans. She does slither, but I like the fact that the artist made her crawl with her hands, and that was the coolest, neatest looking thing. So if we have something on the ground, and I want to sort of look up at her a little bit, so we have to establish that there's a ground somewhere. So this is my ground line. And then you could use like a simple shape. Let's say for this case, let's use like a rectangle. Okay, I'm gonna use a rectangle. Maybe like this. And then something like that. It could force perspective. I guess it depends how exaggerated you want to make the character. So Medusa would be in this object somewhere. By the way, I managed to flip the camera so you can actually see it the way I'm drawing it, which is kind of cool. I'm still learning how to use OBS. So Medusa is here. We can start. I'm thinking you start with the shoulders. Maybe. I gotta think about this. Is she crawling forward or is she just like standing there? Maybe she's just standing there. I don't know. For now, maybe her shoulders are up, like she's resting. So this is her shoulder line. It's kind of goofy looking, yeah, I know. This is a shoulder and a shoulder, right? And we can have her arms spread out, maybe like this and like that. Elbow, like this and like that. Elbow. And her head could be down, shoulders are up, her head could be sort of down, maybe sideways. Just make her sort of weird, you know. What if her head was sideways? So this is the middle of her head. And next, we have to give this the right perspective, so using these ovals here. Okay, this is all placeholder. All this can, like I mentioned so many times, nothing here is permanent. That's why I'm sketching on my HLED. And then this forearm. And Medusa, you know, I always seen her as like sort of skinny, you know, ugly, sort of bony almost. And this would be her forearm, and her hands would be over here. Forearm. Hands go over here. Something like that. Then her body could go like this. Like that. Whatever. That's the curve of her body for now. I'm just trying to figure out what else I want to establish here. Let's move this here actually. Center it some more. It's not, it wasn't centered. I gotta catch myself sometimes. And if we start looking up at her, so here's the rib cage, right? Just like an oval. Rib cage, and then, like I said, she's skinny. And then we have her breasts here. She's not going to have any clothing. Something like this, I suppose. And then be like that. For now, I could change things later if I have to. And so this body is going back away from us. So she does have a abdomen there, right? Put that detail there, and she does have hips. So let's give her some hips. Her body go that direction. Okay, so I'll make the line this way instead. Erase these, or this line. And so in this version of Medusa, some of that takes some liberties because anytime you redraw a creature that's already been done, it's good to take liberties as artists. You're supposed to be creative. Remember that. We have to be creative as artists. And so if her tail is this way, right? Having a little fun with the curves. Like that. And I can actually erase some of the information that I put earlier from that rectangle. And I was thinking, what if like her lower half, since she was human once upon a time, instead of having one snake body, she splits up into two, right? I just thought it'd be kind of a neat idea. So this would be one tentacle or whatever snake body, and this would be the other one. Obviously it attaches around the crotch area somewhere, like right here. And here we'd have, the private area or whatever, if you want to put that in there. And this leg would probably be back here somewhere. Gotta imagine this. Imagine this going like this to the back. Something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure if I want this going in like that or not. It's quite like a really extreme angle, but maybe that's a good thing. Be very careful when you erase. You notice I'm holding the paper here and going up. If I erase this way, I want to wrinkle the paper. If I go this direction, I'll just end up messing up the paper, and I don't want to do that. So be careful how you erase. Or I could have, I'm just thinking about ideas, have this leg come through here. Oh, it looks like she's like tied up. But I want to try things out. I want to see how these things look. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Looks like she's tied up, which I figured it would look like that, but I want to give it a try. Okay, so this goes this H. Okay, this is H. Goes like this. Like this is curled, right? This is, and it goes to an end. Hey, there you go. We got that. The other leg, what if the other leg was more over here? Okay, I'm gonna erase this one that I did earlier and try something else. So this leg could be maybe going this way. I have to imagine this going like this. Going that way. So you get the idea that that's the other appendage. Or body part or whatever. Because really can't really see her butt. But let's put something there. She's got something, okay? Yes, Medusa does have a butt. What else can we do with this? Now her hands, what are her hands doing? I think they should be resting on the palm. That's I think she would be doing. So here's her palm, right? And here's her thumb. Be one thumb. And then her other fingers would be like that. Of course, we can't really see the other fingers because we're looking at sort of like a wormer's eye view a little bit, like the camera moved down. So we don't see the other fingers. Try this here. Okay, now let's focus on her face. I have her crooked for a reason. So she's sort of tilted down, her head's tilted down and sideways. I'm going to clean up some of this information here. No, I'm going to drink some water because I'm thirsty. Alrighty then. And I think I could just erase this line I just had there just so you can see where the middle of the face is. And I always thought that, okay, she was cursed, she was beautiful, and now she's distorted. So I always thought she would have like a crooked mouth. You know? Maybe like a crooked mouth like that. I don't know yet. Maybe more crooked. Doesn't look crooked enough. Then her teeth would be in here somewhere. I don't know, something like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that mouth that crooked. And then her nose would be here somewhere. Her eyes would be out here somewhere. It's probably too high up. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks kind of goofy. Yo, you look goofy. Looks a little goofy. Okay, maybe her eyes are more like this. So one eye here, an eye over here, and then she has somewhat of a nose. And her mouth could be maybe smaller. Smaller but still crooked. I'm working on this, guys. Bear with me. I'm designing as I draw. But sometimes that's what we do as artists. We design as we draw. I have this crooked because I can draw better that way. You can zoom in on her face, so all y'all can see. And then this is the temple area, and she's gonna have some high cheekbones that's sunk in because she was disfigured and she's ugly now, and she's sort of thin. They ruined her. They put a horrible curse on this woman. Something like that. Adjusting the nostrils there. Hmm. trying to make her look ugly, you know. She is pretty ugly right now. And then this could be segmented like oh gosh, spiders, like snakes. Because she is part snake. Something like that. Something like that. Of course, she's gonna have her snake friends on her head. And I wonder if she'd have I should give her a tooth. What if she like really disfigured and they gave her a cleft lip or something like that? They cursed her. Something like that. And then I'm not sure if I like the teeth there. I'm usually leave her as twisted lip. Just black. Then the snakes. Well, I still have to draw like this, actually. So get the snakes properly. So this is one snake. And then maybe she has one going over her eye and out. So here's where you want to get creative and think about the placement of these things. Because I have to give these heads. I'll do that later. Right now, I'm just going to placement of the of these little creatures. Then we have another one here. Maybe it wraps around this one. Right? It comes around like that. So it goes behind it. And then forward. Something like that. You want to have some fun with these little snakes. And then another snake over here. Maybe this one's going like that. We could put another snake here. Another snake there. Of course, she's going to have snakes almost everywhere on her head. One there. back here. This one going back. The snake's going back there somewhere. Vary your snakes. Have fun with this stuff. Make it interesting. And then maybe one snake that's going this way. Go in that direction. And let's see here. One snake going that way. Maybe one snake going this way, right? Like going away, but then it comes back towards us. Maybe around this thing. So this is going back. It comes around towards us. Because these things are like moving around everywhere. Okay, and then we could put obviously more snakes. Going that way. Maybe one going behind these here. Something like that. And let's see here. Put more over here. It goes off the paper. Maybe this one comes from behind all these other snakes. It's this way. Like that. And what if I should go like this? I'll go like this, I guess. I'm trying to think of the shapes I'm making here. I have this one, and that one, and it doesn't look too bad. You gotta start thinking about the shapes of your, how they're moving. Okay, how about have one snake that goes out and goes back. Back there somewhere. You don't really see where it ends up, but it's just back there somewhere. I think there may be enough snakes for now. Yeah, something like that. And then we have to give her some ugliness. Scales, whatever you want to call them. Because she is, after all, cursed. She's no longer that beautiful woman anymore. I'm not crazy about this chin here. I could give her an ugly chin. Well, my chin is sort of pointy. Something like that. Because she's not supposed to be pretty. As for dang sure. I think that's pretty good for the head. Let's go back and focus on the other parts. Now, back to the arm. Let's erase some of this info here. Too much going on for now. I have to erase the sketch lines. Don't have to, but I just want to see a cleaner looking arm. Now, let's see here. Shoulders up here. These arms are kind of long, which I don't mind. I don't mind having long arms. You know, she does have a bow, so I have to think about that before I continue. I just remembered. She does carry a bow. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of some of this info here. So if she does have a bow, I think in the movie she carried it on her back or something like that. Which means the part that she grabs would probably be in front, and the string would be in the back. That's my guess. So the bow would be underneath her arms, obviously. That's interesting. How would you carry a bow like that? It could just fall off of you. Fun stuff trying to figure this stuff out. Let's see here. Or it could just be in front. So if she does have a bow, let's go like this. Make this bow. It's got to go behind her arm. Let's take a look at this real quick. Okay. So this is her bow, and then this is the end of the bow. This is the other end of the bow over here. And then it's going to be thick, obviously. This bow has to have some sort of thickness to it. Like that. So the string will go from here to here. Right? I don't have a ruler. This is where I have to make a straight line. So I'm going to use a book. I have this book here for my monster manual. Let's see here. Damn it, I can't see. There's a shadow in the way. More or less, let's see here. There. So there's a straight line, right? I just drew it. You can just use it as a guide. You don't have to actually use that line. Just use it as a guide. Okay, now here's a tricky part. So this goes behind, the string is behind her body, right? So this is stuff you got to think about. If it's behind her body has a thickness, right? She's not paper thin. So this string has to be, may go on like this. The string has to be bowed because it's going in front of her body and behind. So I'm gonna have to go like this probably. have the string sort of taut like that. So then I'll just erase the original line, which was a guide. Okay, so this is when she's going to use the bow. This is her right hand, so I'm pretending she's right-handed. She can just grab it from here, pull it off, you know, quickly. It's not difficult to do. And then she can use her bow. It's not moving. Get away. Little eraser marks don't want to fall off. I gotta drink some water. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I'm just going to sketch this out today, just get the placement of things. And I'll do a second part where I go into more detail. Okay, so back to what I was doing. Her arms, right? So that's her arm, and we have a muscle here. Now that says she's bony. She's not like, she's not undead or anything, but she does not have, she doesn't have a lot of muscle. This would actually turn this way. Let me adjust this. I gotta think about the anatomy a little bit. This would go this way and that way. And then of course she would probably have, she's so thin, she's gotta have some veins. Some veins sticking out here and there. Erase that. Of course, you could pop those out with shadow, you know, you're still doing your shading and stuff. And let's say we have another vein that goes around this way. So we get creative, and we give this vein a bump. So it goes out, right? Goes like that. Because she is really skinny. So you got one arm there. I'll work on the details of the hands, the fingers some other time. And I'm going to play around with a little bit of shadow. So this is the arm back here, and I'm going to literally just have a shadow here. So this will focus, this will make the head pop really nice. And what is this? Oh, that's one of the snakes. Okay. Sometimes I'm like, what did I just draw here? What is this? Then we have the other arm. And this would be doing the same thing, more or less, like that. Maybe there's a bone here. I should give her a bone here too. Because after all, she is skinny. Then we have the bicep. Okay, the shoulder up here, shoulder up here. And the shoulders are up high from what I remember. So like up here. The shoulders up here somewhere. I want to shade that in so I know that there's a shoulder back there. Sometimes I forget where things are. And this, I'll do the same treatment here. Shadow work. I'm not gonna do too much shadow today either. I just wanna just nail those down so I can remember what the heck I was doing when I come back next time. And then we can have some more veining here. That goes this way. And we want to give the vein a bump there. Like it's going, you know, sticking out from the skin. And something like that, you know. Veins go all kinds of different directions. And they're not all the same. So we have her palms on the ground. Now, let's go back to the chest area. She's not very busty. Shadow work. Some shadow work. Okay, and then we have her ribs, right? Her ribs there. And then we have this section here. These are her rib bones, more or less. And I don't really try to connect those. No reason to. And she does have an abdomen, and I'll give her some light muscles, like that. Nothing too crazy. Because we want to give the impression that, yeah, she has muscles. But she has skin over the muscles. Not too crazy about this. I'll get rid of that. And instead, I'll just do that. Just a little shadow. Okay, so now we are coming down to this area. And I wonder, like, maybe here the scales begin, right? Probably wouldn't see it here. So the scales begin here. Like that, and this goes like this into the underside. Something like that. So that's where the scales will go, the snake body. So this would be sort of like, let's get this detail right here. It's wrong. It should be going this direction. That's the good direction, because we're sort of looking up at her. So I have to get those angles right. So the scale will do the same thing, right? Something like that. And over here it'd go like that, and then here You don't have to draw the scales back there because that's going to be in shadow. So we're getting her down, little details. This is her thumb. And her other fingers, which go that way. Little shadow there. Come over here, do some of that finger work here. Okay. There we go. I think we got her almost pretty much sketched out completely. I could work on the bow, but I like simple things. I think Medusa wouldn't have no fancy bow. I like simple things. Here we could have something that curves out. So here we're going to have a hole here, right? A hole there where the string goes. Same thing for over here. This goes like this. This goes like that. Okay. And then there's a knot usually where this, the string is tied around this thing, so we're just gonna go like this. It's tied. And that's tied. That's where the string is tied. And then we can clean that up later, but having extra sketchy lines is fine. Now she could have a grip here where she grabs the bow. Excuse me. So I have to figure out the middle point of that. So I'm going to use a piece of paper here, so you know where the middle is. So this is what I'm going to do here. You get a scratch piece of paper, you measure the bow out, so you go from here more or less to here, right? You got it, and then we're going to just fold this thing, fold it over, and then we see the crease. That's the middle. So we sort of line it up, pull it back. Here's the middle of the bow. Ta-da! That's the middle. So there's no doubt about it that you got the middle. I'm going to rotate it so I can see it better because it's crooked. And then we can decide how long to make the grip area. It could be carved out of wood, the whole thing. But let's say it goes from here to about right here. Something like that. And then you could do some fancy handle or whatever, you know, whatever you guys feel like doing for your artwork. And since we're sort of looking, like again, we're sort of looking up at her, so we have to get that perspective right. So this should not be straight. It should not be straight. Okay. If we're looking up at her a little bit, this could be a little bit curved. Curved. You see, it makes a world of a difference when you add those little details. So we get a little curve going. And then you can remember, keep that in mind, the perspective, and then start, doing things. See, I did this line here and I gave you an idea. So what if I go like this? Right? Just a little design. And this can be just eyeballed, don't have to be perfect. If you want it perfect, you can measure it. I think it needs to go out more. This is thicker, this is thinner. I can just see. So by looking at it, I need to go out more. So yeah, you can start, designing your bow and putting all kinds of cool details. But I think I'm going to leave it here. When I come back next time, I'm going to do more work on her, more light shadow, texture work on the body, things like that. I might have to adjust these scales. I don't like the way that looks. This would probably be more straight, something like that. Anyways, sometimes you have to adjust and see what looks good. Okay, so you guys have a great rest of your Sundays, or Sunday. I got other things to do. Thanks for stopping by, watching my drawing, and hopefully you learned some things on how to draw and become a great fantasy artist. I'll see you later.